we're live.
Jazz
Look at her with the jazz
hands.
hands. Do you know that that is the signal for clapping?
We
Clapping.
learned that from the Oscars.
Well, I learned that before the Oscars, but
well, they
hopefully
showed
you
that.
did as well.
I did. Hi.
Look how colorful she is in that beautiful
Woo!
hand
My dream
crocheted. What is that? That's
jacket.
patchwork.
Oh, yeah, patchwork.
Hand crocheted patchwork outfit. It's beautiful, isn't it? These are really hot right now. They're really in.
And
Look at this thing.
I didn't even know.
A friend of hers made this. This is absolutely beautiful.
John
We're killing
Foley
time.
Jones, Sue. This is Sue. Sue, my cousin's mom made this. It's absolutely beautiful.
Isn't that
It goes down to
beautiful?
my butt.
Isn't that Ty? Where do you see Sue?
Hi Ty, how are you? Jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
Yeah, granny squares. Thank you, Janice.
Yeah,
But,
granny scares. Yep.
But
Isn't
yeah,
that
he
beautiful?
just told me that this is like all the new rage this now.
Right now.
Which I
We've
didn't
been
even
selling ours like crazy.
Which I didn't even know. So
They even make this pattern in guys' clothes.
yeah, right.
I don't know if I'd be caught dead in them, but
So Sue, you gotta like start making these for people.
isn't that beautiful?
But thank you so much. It's nice.
I love your pride colors too.
Oh yeah, I always wear my pride. It says the word love. Isn't that cool? I got my cool little rainbow.
Okay, thanks.
It's all about me.
Move on.
It's all about me.
I talk about my 1994.
Okay.
So anyways, we are going to be talking about how to clean your vintage.
I'm excited. I
And
love
not just
cleaning.
clothing either. We're
Right.
talking about everyday items as well as clothing.
Right.
Right?
Sure.
Oh, I like the when we talk to each other because then it sounds like we're like actually
Yeah, we're
having
actually
a
having a
conversation.
conversation instead of me talking over you.
But I haven't seen a heart yet.
What's up with that? We need some, like, at least a thumb. How
At
about
least a thumb.
At least a
Can
thumb.
somebody please give us a thumb?
Like a thumbs up or something.
And I'm
No
excited.
one.
I know, nobody likes us. Anyways, so
Aw.
I'm excited because my cast is off.
I know. I'm so happy for you.
Yes,
He
I'm
had
excited.
extensive surgery,
I
and
did.
it was so painful. And I'm so
Yes.
happy for him because now he's like going to be a new man.
Well, I don't know about that. Now I get to get back to the gym. So the first and foremost, what you need when you clean every day, like your vintage and stuff like that, and if you have a retail establishment and you're cleaning vintage or you're cleaning anything, really, is gloves, right?
Yes, love gloves.
Gloves for cleaning.
Yeah, gloves.
She goes through, I mean, she does a lot of our cleaning. We both do. I haven't been able to lately, but she goes through these all the time. These are great to keep your skin good.
Exactly. Protect your hands from all the chemicals
Plus
and
you don't
just
have
the
all those
dirt.
smells and everything.
Yeah, your hands are going to dry out if you're cleaning all day if you don't wear gloves.
So you want to make sure you have gloves on.
Very,
So,
very important.
Anyways, what is it we're going to start with first?
Are we
cleaning.
going to do...
Oh, you know what? I have a hint for you. I have a tidbit hint for you.
Okay.
Cleaning chrome.
This is so cool, you guys. I just learned this today, and I'm really...
So when I'm talking about chrome, I'm talking about like, excuse me as I get too close to the screen. Chrome, okay? Like your chrome that you get in, especially vintage chrome, because a lot of us, we come across tables, we come across stuff that have chrome legs, chairs, and there's a little bit of rust on them or pitting, stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. And you want to get it off without having to have it re-powdered, re-chrome, right? Because that can get expensive. So one of the things that we found out is there's two simple things that work really well.
Blew my mind. Oh, Janice says baking soda.
Baking soda does work, yep. But this, it's no scrubbing really. It's actually, well, there's scrubbing a little bit, but water and tin foil literally takes it away in a minute. So we had a chrome table here, and Steve tried different remedies to get it done. He did the tin foil, talked to a couple customers. He did the tin foil and Coca-Cola, the tin foil and the water, and the tin foil and Coca-Cola and the tin foil and water worked identical. So you could use Coca-Cola, but water's
it's going to be all
cheaper.
sticky.
Water's cheaper.
How did I not know this? I know, Janice.
Yep.
I know. I was scrubbing with lamb's wool.
Yeah.
And just lamb's
So
wool. On
I
my
looked
chrome,
it
and
up
didn't
right
work.
before here to see why this worked so well. And apparently the when the aluminum foil comes into contact with water and the chrome, it causes some sort of electromagnetic source that I don't know. I'm by far not a scientist, but it causes light
Reflective light
No.
or electro.
not the pitting, I lost my
The
words.
patina?
No.
The...
When metal rust.
Oh.
The rust. See, I lost my words. And
Okay.
so when light rust is on there, now if it's heavy duty rust, you might go through a whole roll in a little bit of elbow grease.
Mm-hmm.
But with light rust and pitting in chrome,
All right. Or just what if chrome is just like a little dull? Like my chrome's
It'll
just
shine it
dull.
up.
It's just not like...
it'll shine it up. I don't know what it is, but we did an entire table. The table was bad, and it looked brand new when Steve was done with it. I couldn't. It's not even here. It sold immediately.
Yeah, and Jason, our other employee who works here, he was actually afraid to do it because he thought, oh my God, I'm going to ruin it. But he was mind blown too.
He went home and did stuff.
I'm going to go home and do stuff. I'm going to do chairs.
Yep.
I have 2 1950s tables. I'm going to be anything I can find that's chrome. I'm going to get like, where's the chrome?
But who would have thought aluminum foil?
I would have
And
never.
water.
And I think that
And a
is
liquid source.
fantastic.
So there's one little tidbit or hint that you can do when you, especially since we're coming into garage sale season,
Oh, yeah.
and we pick up some cool mid-century in chrome, and you're going to pass on it because its legs are a little pitted and stuff
Right.
like that because you don't. This will take care of
Janice,
it.
how did you not know this? Wow, that's
You know what?
one
New things
thing.
happen all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
New things come all the time. One other thing that, I have to consult with Steve when I do this type of stuff because he's got the knowledge when it comes to a lot of this stuff. So I asked him to send me some tidbits and stuff. And tidbits. That's my favorite word today.
I guess so.
So, anyways, older painted furniture. What?
Jason, Janice goes, because I said, how did she not know? She goes, I'm fired.
I'm
She's
fired.
fired.
Go sit on your couch now.
Go sit on the couch.
And so,
Hi,
What?
Jason's mom. Sorry.
hey, Mom. So, one of the things, I'm not going to write that.
Oh, is that what he wrote?
Yeah, because it changed Windex to Winded.
Okay.
So anyways, I asked him to give me something that maybe people weren't aware of, right? And so older painted furniture, meaning like 1960s, 50s, 40s, 30s in painted furniture. The first thing you want to do is put away all your chemicals.
I know, my first instinct is grabbing, years ago would be grabbing Fantastic.
No.
Just
No.
And that's strong.
So when you are testing a color and you paint something, you usually paint a small corner of something, right? Mm-hmm. So you won't test in a small corner if you're questioned about it. But what we have found, and this is true to be true, is that old painted furniture, antique vintage furniture that's painted, if you use any type of chemical base, 409, Windex, anything like that, as soon as that touches that paint will start to dissolve or it will start to run.
I learned that with trying to clean walls once.
Yeah.
Well, there was actually marks on it.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah.
So if you have something, an antique piece of furniture that's beautifully hand painted, stay away from chemicals, you guys. Don't use any chemicals on those. You got to remember, stuff that was 70s and back, we did not have the technology we have today, and our cleaning supplies and our cleaning ability is much stronger.
Super strong.
So if you your best way to clean old vintage painted or antique painted furniture is basically, I got a whole supply of cleaning behind me.
Yeah.
It's basically
A little bit of that, just a teeny
Dawn.
bit with water and a
Yep.
nice soft rag, and just
that
slowly.
will, and you do it and test a spot, because Dawn can sometimes be a little hard.
But just a little.
Vinegar and water
yeah.
does work, but depending on your vinegar, because some of the vinegar can be awfully
Very acid, yeah.
acid driven, and it can also cause pitting in the wood if you
Right.
use too much.
So that's good for inside glass.
Yes, absolutely. So you want to use soap and water. And if you do use vinegar, use a very little bit of white vinegar as well and dilute it into water to do it, because you don't want to take that painting off that was painted in, the 1800s or something that made that table worth as much as it is.
Right. I mean, maybe sometimes just a little water with
Right.
depending on,
And also one of the tips that he wrote on here is never ever put that product directly onto the piece. So if you use Dawn, you put Dawn in the rag first, and then you get the rag soapy and sudsy. Then you start to do it small circles or however, because
a little bucket full of water,
Yeah.
put some Dawn in it.
oh yeah, something to that effect. You never want to pour it straight on. And if you do, even in today's wood and stuff like that, I wouldn't do, like if you're going to use a more astringent cleaner, I wouldn't put it directly on. I'd put it on the rag and then attach it because you have more control over it that way.
Yeah, because you notice, like if you're cleaning your house and you spray and stuff, and like a little bit of spray goes on something, you can see a lot of times if it goes on wood or something, it leaves like a little spot. It will fade after some time, but you know.
There was another hint on here I just noticed that he had sent, and that is with never spray glass cleaner on the glass of pictures while hanging on the walls.
Oh, because it drains it.
Yes, because we're not quick enough. Water is always quicker than us, or liquids are always quicker than us. So if you think you can spray it on and get it quick enough, that water is evasive, or that liquid's evasive. It already went into the side somehow. So if you're going to spray it directly on, you bring it down and set it down, and you spray it in the center, and then you wipe from the center out.
Smart.
Because if you do get liquid in it, where's it going to go?
And also, if you have mirrors with wood frames and you spray on it, it goes down there faster, and then it can break down the integrity of the wood and behind the mirror over time if you're not, because you can't get in there to dry it. So obviously you don't have a picture behind it, but the mirror and the wood, the integrity.
So glass, and it's got calcium buildup on the inside, right? So there's several different ways that you can clean the inside of it. Now, I have found that vinegar, along with one of those ways, probably is the best, but calcium is very tough.
Yeah, like you have to buy that, like those.
And that doesn't even always work.
Right,
sometimes you hear a lot of people talking about using denture tablets.
Yeah.
Denture tablets sometimes work, depending on how hard the calcium buildup is. Alka-Seltzer tablets sometimes work depending on how hard the buildup is. And white vinegar can sometimes work.
You know what's weird? Because like those things too, like Alka-Seltzer, I think it even has calcium in it.
It does.
Calcium carbonate.
But you can also get calcium cleaner and try it. But it can be very difficult. So what causes that calcium buildup is leaving water in here all the time and not rinsing it out and letting it dry properly before you seal it.
Or it just like slowly, like, and then it starts to dry, and it dries, and then. And
it dries with the calcium that's in the water.
So with like water, vinegar, and maybe some baking soda.
You could try some.
But
it's kind of like those rings that you have on your table. A little bit of everything helps a little bit, but nothing really pulls it out. At least I haven't come across anything yet. Although I do know the rings get pulled out by a certain way, and I'll tell you about that later.
Which is really cool. It is hard. It is hard to get that out. I have noticed with old glasses, you can't always get.
Yeah, you can't always get those out. So Nicole cleans for us for the most part. I mean, she does a lot more than clean for us. Let me be clear about that.
I do.
She's our favorite, one of our best sellers here, if not the best. But she does do a lot of cleaning in our downtime, and so I'm gonna let her explain how she cleans these.
So depending on, you have to. This is fine bone china, but if you have porcelain or hand painted, you always have to make sure, like he said, you're just gonna. You don't want to spray any chemicals on anything. I usually get a little thing of water, and if I was disinfecting something, I'd do a little Lysol. Oh yeah, thank you. So I get a little water, maybe a little Dawn, a very little Dawn in that water. I use paintbrushes to get into here. You know, just dip it into the water, go around there, and then you can actually just take a spray bottle of water too if you wanted to, depending on what it's made, or just even rinse it underneath. It depends on. Your
bone china can pretty much handle a pretty good amount of cleaner.
But it just all depends. It could be hand painted porcelain. I don't know so much about, you want to just be very.
You're right.
Yeah, you have to be very careful with everything you choose. But for little things, with all the little crevices, this is wonderful. I always love to use the paintbrushes, but water, if you just want to use water, that's great.
The important thing with this that I want to point out, not to cut you off, I'm sorry,
it's okay, I'm done.
is the value in a lot of these pieces are in the lack of chipping. And the fact that you don't want those flowers and those little tiny things chipped, right? So, you can run it underwater. You can spray it with spray water and stuff like that, but it won't clean the inside of it.
Right. So when you take the little brush, even if you just did spray, if you do that. But yeah, if one of these breaks and then it does get dusty, because she even said, Janice, they break so easily.
Right.
But if you use a really, really soft brush with a little bit of water, it's great. And just let it air dry. It makes all the difference in the world. Oh yeah. If it's not like coated on, that's great.
And you want to utilize this little tool.
Oh yeah, because it just blows. Oh yeah, it just blows it right up. Oh yeah.
Because this little tool, you can get down in the crevices. Because we all know the more you spray these things, the colder they become.
Like when you have these pieces, and these are beautiful. You want to keep them out, but it's a pain to clean all
They
the time.
can be, but if you keep them clean, like to dust them down the road, you use the air can to air. And then once a month or once every 6 weeks, you take it down and you do the process.
Look how
cleaning.
beautifully clean this is.
But that goes hand in hand with tool light shades, with anything that's got a lot of little tiny crevices in it is paintbrush. Because paintbrushes are for a lot more than just art. Paintbrushes are amazing at cleaning all kinds of picture frames, every little thing, jewelry, lamps, like everything that you own, like pretty much if you're going to Same with this.
And it's delicate. And
what we're talking about are things that we use here. We get a lot of compliments on how clean and how organized this place is. Not to toot our own horns, but we do. And this is how we do it, okay? And some of the main cleaning supply things that we do is grease lightning, which we use all the time. Grease lightning, you pick up at any of your
like appliances. Stores. Grease lightning is really good on appliances, on things that are really soiled, and you need to get
you should have
yeah.
Cleaning Q-tips. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cleaning Q-tips for everything.
Definitely toothpicks are good.
That was my next one.
See?
Because your salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah.
Toothpicks are great because especially getting vintage salt and pepper shakers. Now, we talk about vintage salt and pepper shakers, and the toothpicks are great to put in the hole to knock the salt out. And then you always want to remove any salt or anything buildup that's in there and soak your salt and pepper shakers. That's what I do. I soak them here. Yep, we soak them just to make sure all of the built up salt, because it hardens inside. Yeah. Salt and everything is taken out of it. Then you want to make sure, and this is where a lot of people misstep, including us, is you have to let this stuff dry thoroughly. Yeah, you gotta
I'd let it dry for a week. Just like have it out, let air in there.
So something else that people love is ribbon glass.
Ooh, could you take a blow dryer too? Yeah. Inside some of those things too?
Well, so you could. The larger things, you absolutely could.
Just to get it doesn't absorb the water into the inside.
That's actually not a bad thing. When you're dealing with something like your
porous.
Your toll lamps, and that's your lamps that are like the metal with the different leaves and stuff on them.
Oh my God.
Tow lamps, even your oil-based lamps, stuff like that. It's always good to hit. I love it. Thank you.
It's
always good to hit them with something to take the main large dust pieces off first, and a blow dryer would work for that.
Yeah.
So as long as you have good ventilation, you can use the blow dryer, and it will shoot everything off. Just to remember, it goes everywhere. So make sure you have something.
I'm thinking too, when you get things that are like the inside of a lot of pieces, like the salt and pepper shakers, they're not glazed, so it's porous, so the water is absorbed. So a lot of things. That's what I was thinking. Like, well, if you don't allow it to dry in enough time,
you can use
you want to dry it. You can use a little bit of a hairdryer to get some of that
wetness out. Absolutely. Right. So another thing that paintbrushes are good for is ribbon glass, because ribbon glass can be very difficult to clean.
It is. It takes a lot of time. When I first started here, I was cleaning all of this put a little bit of Lysol inside the water, especially during COVID. I was good to do with
Lysol anyways, as long as you know that Lysol can take what you're putting it on.
Right. And if it has something to, I was cleaning COVID time, so I wanted to disinfect.
Well, that's all right. Disinfecting all the time.
Yes. So these soft brush, there's all different types of brushes, that, and so it makes cleaning really easy.
Ribbon glass is an illusion, meaning it looks clean, but it's not. I can guarantee you that by going through that, you do have to go through every piece of ribbon.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah.
Very what?
Very indie.
Indie.
Oh.
Andy, maybe.
Very. I don't know. What? Okay. Oh, informative.
Informative. Okay.
I like that. I needed to learn.
Right. So another thing I want to mention is candles.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to know about that.
Now, candles. Sometimes candles are made to stay candly, meaning like this.
Candles.
Where it's on top and it's supposed to look all messy, right? Like it's melted, right? But it gets all of that icky dust on it, right? So how do you get that off? You can wash it with soap and water, but it doesn't always work.
No, it just
You need an aggressive. Now, you can always heat it up, but I wouldn't recommend that.
But then the dirt gets in the wax, right?
Right. So what I have found is grease lightning works phenomenal.
Because it just brings it off the wax.
Well, it's just what it does. I think is I don't know what it does. Because it's dust that's in it.
Right. So
It's
it
built up
actually
dust.
just
It pulls it up.
Yeah.
And
It's strong
it works
enough to
really
do
well.
that.
So that way it looks like, because candle wax collects dust.
Man, it sticks.
And it's dirty and it looks ugly and everything. Grease lightning with a cloth, rub it over it, because even if you rub down some of the top pieces, it's still going to look.
Yeah, and then you probably, rinse it off with some
With
warm
water. That's it.
whatever.
And then dry it off and set it back down. So that way, because a lot of people like those candle holders that have the candle drip down and they don't want to get rid of that candle because it gives it that spooky look.
Yeah.
But it's all covered in dust.
Back
That's how you
in the
would get it off.
day, all through my teens and 20s, I had dusty, drippy candles. I don't know if I should be telling people that.
So, this is Whitco.
So cute, you guys. Look at this cat.
This is Whitco. Whitco makes a lot of tiki stuff that people love.
I like
So,
that.
well, how do we clean wood, right? So the first thing you want to do is you want to wipe it off with a rag, like get dust off from it,
Just a
and
damp-
then just some water. You know what I
Damp rag.
mean? Just a damp rag, just to wipe it off to get the initial dust off. Then you want to use this.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Use this.
A lot of people want to clean your wood with Murphy's oil soap. So
What's the
what do you-
difference? Murphy's oil soap is good.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's got the lemon base.
Okay.
This has got beeswax in it as well.
Okay.
Whereas Murphy's oil soap does not have beeswax in it.
Okay, so this is
So-
gonna help keep
Well, this is going to feed it as well as wax it.
it moist.
Okay. Murphy's oil soap feeds your wood, pretty much. Makes it shiny, feeds your wood.
Right.
This is also a wax, so it helps to seal your wood.
Right. It's gonna feed
Right.
and seal, and it's gonna stay nice and shiny.
We use feed and wax.
I know, Janice. You want him.
Oh, we use feed and wax on every piece of wood you see in here, because wood needs to hydrate,
Right. Because it
because
gets
it
dry
can
like our
crack
skin.
and it can crack.
Just
So
like we use stuff.
this hydrates. It feeds as well as waxes, or use your Murphy's oil soap. But what you want to do is make sure you never, ever use this or Murphy's oil soap on your wood floors.
Because you will kill yourself.
You will kill yourself.
I love restore and refinish. I know, Janice isn't, but yeah, just like our skin, we use moisturizing products on our skin to prevent cracking.
Yes,
And
this is what Janice is talking about. Restore, refinish, restore and finish. And what this is a cleaner, but it's also it's also got a well, depending on whatever color you choose, it's got a stain in it. So
I
you want to
really
make
should get
sure that
that.
if you get this, that you match the stain that this is with the stain what you're cleaning with. Because if you're just doing the top or something, you want to make sure that
everything matches.
everything
You go
matches
over the
and that
whole
it's
thing.
so, we have brochures here where you can take home and match your wood to it.
Oh,
So
she says Howard's. Yeah, this is
it
Howard's.
is all
Yeah.
Howard's. We
So
carry it.
Janice, do you think that I should get some of that for, those thick wood square mid-century tables that I have? I think it would probably, because they're so old, that it would really
Make sure, or
make
bring
it
one
pop.
in, or take one of those home with you and make sure
Yeah.
you match your stain. Worst thing in the world is to stain something the wrong color.
It's really dark wood. It's like
So it's probably
actually
cherry.
the
It's probably the
it's
dark
cherry.
cherry.
It's dark cherry.
So,
it's like this dark.
anyways, isn't she beautiful?
She's super cute.
So these come in all different sizes. You can get them small, medium, large,
Thank
all
you,
over the
Janice.
place. It's fantastic. Janice, you're fabulous. You need to be here doing
I
this
know.
with
You
us.
know what? We've been talking about having you on, Janice.
So this
As a
is
guest.
chalkware. Now, chalkware versus chalkware. I'm doing all the talking.
I'm trying.
People
to,
are probably
it's
bored
okay.
and snoring.
No, I'm just gonna say hi to everybody. Hi,
Say hi to
Carol. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Sue. Hi, Kathy Cooper. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Greg. Hi, Dolly. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Donna, Brent, and Ty. Thank you so much, all you guys, for tuning in, Sue. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other people that I just don't see your names, but thank you so much for listening to him talk.
What
and
do, I
tuning
use
in.
this- what do I use these for?
Those are amazing. Those are for like displaying. You don't want your Pyrex or any kind of bowls and things. Are you
None of
talking
them.
about?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Go on.
Oh.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, so like if you have your Pyrex bowls, Fire King, any kind of ceramics, with you don't want them touching each other to like crack, fracture, scratch. Puts them in, and do they display nicely? They're stored nicely. They're not gonna hit, crack, chip.
And for cleaning purposes, because we're talking cleaning, you will get dust down inside, so you'll have to take them apart and clean them. But this is what you want to do so that you don't have marks on yours.
Yeah.
And I always have to point that out. And it's not just Pyrex, it's any type of bowls. If you have the ability to do that and store them, great. If you don't,
I think
use paper towel between them.
Yeah, especially beautifully painted bowls or handmade ceramics or pottery. Put a roll of thing. Oh my God! You put a roll between them. Get a tape roll, whether it's a big, thick, fat one or whatever. Try to do that. Or we always say, if you don't have those, do the coffee filters or even a napkin.
Just anything.
Just something to like protect that.
Yeah. So tape.
Ooh. Delinting? I don't know.
Yes. So when you get
too funny.
I know. When you get really cool string art.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Velvet.
Or velvet.
Black velvet painting.
We always go for our roller, right?
Right.
Well, sometimes it's really stuck on there.
Yeah, and it drives you nuts.
And it drives you nuts. So you know what we use to clean the jewelry boxes, we use these. And this works good. Now, I'd be careful putting this over the string of the string art because you can break the string.
Oh, yeah, because it's very
But
fragile.
string art is very malleable though, so you can put it under. But by using these to get that off, it will turn your jewelry box beautiful on the inside.
I have so much lint in my jewelry box right now. But yeah, the tape is really good. Those rollers, they really don't get that much off. But if you have things that are very old, the strings and definitely. You don't want that because it might snap.
So how many of us have old paperwork and old books and old
Everybody has old papers.
Yeah, like you go to a garage sale, you go somewhere and you come across, maybe it's the newspaper where, from I don't know, JFK. Okay. Let's say it's the newspaper. I'm trying to go back far enough to where what I'm referring to. Let's say you have the day JFK was assassinated, or you have, you go back to the 20th century, early 20th century, and you pull the newspaper out, and you're like, ooh, what's that smell? How many times have we had that, right?
Dust!
No, not just the dust.
I know.
It's the smell.
Yeah, I know.
So
but the dust makes it smell.
What we do, because you could always find someplace that has an O2 room that you could stick these in to try to get the smell gone. Good luck finding somebody that has an O2 room. It's usually a museum, and they usually use their own stuff in there.
It's like what, dehumidifies?
Yeah.
Kills.
So I'm going to tell you.
Microbes.
There's a small little thing that all of us have in our houses that work great, and it's
throw some bounce in those things.
Dryer sheets.
As long as the books and the papers aren't expensive, just in case.
You could still do it. Just put paper between them.
Oh, put paper between them.
Yeah, you could still do it. So by putting these in a few pages of the book or the newspaper, and even if it's an expensive piece, then you use like maybe a piece of paper on each side.
That's what I was gonna.
Do you know what I mean?
I wanted to ask you.
Because these do have some oil, and they can do that.
Yeah.
But for most like newspapers and stuff, they're not going to be in it long enough for that to happen. So we use dryer sheets, and we'll put them in every other page or whatever. Depending on the smell, it can be a couple hours to a couple of days that it be in there, and you switch them out. But over a couple of days, the smell will be gone. And you can use, because a lot of us have come across some cool old books or something that we wanted, but they musty smell. This will help get rid of the musty smell if you can't find an O2 room.
Never knew about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, you know what? This does good in shoes too.
Oh yeah, that's a really great idea.
Like if you store your shoes, and let's say in the winter, your husband.
Darren, oh darn.
Let's say in the winter, because our feet sweat. They're not always stinky. But throwing these in he gave you a bunch of hearts. By throwing these in your shoes, they're nice and they smell good.
Oh, Paulette has paper from when Elvis died. Oh my gosh, yeah, in the 70s.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool, Paulette.
That is cool.
That would be interesting to see.
Oh, right here.
Thanks for watching, Paulette, and thanks for tuning in, Darren. Jazz hands. You missed my jazz hands.
What else did Steve have to say?
We're talking about cleaning.
Well,
after hours.
Yeah, he wrote in here about that. Until you know how the surface will react to the cleaner, always apply cleaners to the rag then to the surface to see the results. Never apply the cleaner directly to
The product.
the
Or
product.
item.
Look at them talking amongst themselves.
I know. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm just gonna stand here and try not to talk over.
So I
Janice
got some
is
other
laughing.
stuff, and here's a good one. Gooby Gone has
I
a lot.
love Goo Gone.
Okay, and Aquanet.
Oh my God, throw up, but it's okay.
Okay, so Aquanet, we use that for like our butterflies and our any type of our.
Oh, gosh.
So if you do a lot of specimens, meaning like butterfly specimens or
Dried flowers, maybe even too. Dried flowers.
dried flowers, anything that could shed, spray it with Aquanet or
break apart, really fragile.
Yes, yep.
Anything fragile.
dried flowers
Yeah.
and so forth. Even some like. I would stick towards either more natural products because this is made for a natural product. So, dried flowers, the butterflies,
Right.
the chicks, the
beetles.
stuff like that. This will help keep the fur on any of the taxidermy you have.
Right.
This will also
Maybe
help.
like tarantulas or
Yeah.
like the little bug legs.
Yep.
they
So
don't
those
fall.
of us who have taxidermy at your house and you notice it's shedding, the deer heads are shedding or anything is shedding because it is natural hair and it can shed. Or fall out because there's no more
Right.
life in there. Or the butterflies and stuff. This is fantastic. Just a little bit of this goes a long way on that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little glue and a little adhesive. And we have an oddity department. That's why I was talking about
Yeah.
bug legs and or
She was talking about lunch.
I was talking about my lunch.
So Gooby Gone, we all know that's just to get gooey stuff off, right?
Right.
But use it to clean your lucite.
Yeah, I saw
Use it to
Steve.
clean your lucite.
So I watched Steve doing that, and I mean, I see that it takes the scratches away, but do you have to then you wipe it down, like dry afterwards?
What
or,
you
like,
do
what
is you
that?
put the Gooby Gone on something. Don't put it directly
Right.
on the piece. On grab me something lucite.
Okay.
Don't trip.
Do you want?
I don't. That's plastic.
Okay, hold on.
So she's gonna give me something, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hope tonight's isn't too boring for you. This is how we clean our stuff, and
Is this okay? I mean,
no, that's fine. So on lucite,
It needs to be cleaned. I need to clean it actually.
on lucite, this is the lid to a cheese dish that we have. She'll show you the rest.
Oh my
here.
gosh, I have to clean this. I'm embarrassed. I'm the cleaner and it's not clean.
Okay, so cheese dish lucite. So we all know we get those little scratches in there, right? The little tiny scratches in it, just from everyday use. Now, this doesn't work with big gouges and stuff.
Right.
It's just the everyday scratching on it and stuff. Also, if there's any discolorization sometimes, if it's very, very light,
Okay.
stuff like that. And lucite tends to get sticky stuff really easily for some
Yeah.
reason. So you just put it on the rag and you do it in circles and then you wipe it off afterwards and then
Okay.
you index it. And what it does is the Gooby Gone,
Just kind of fills it.
it fills in the little scratches and they disappear.
Kind of like when you see those car commercials.
Crazy.
Remember the car commercials over the plastic glass
Yeah.
over the that
Yeah.
get scratches whatever.
Lucite bracelets, fantastic. Lucite bracelets, this works great. So Gooby Gone, we use that. I'm telling you all my cleaning secrets. I don't care. It's fine. So,
Then people
and this
know.
is all, a lot of this is trial and error as we go through because there's so many different surfaces we have to clean and we get them sometimes from the most disgusting digs or craziest,
like
dirtiest areas.
now. How would we clean this?
Well, this is lucite.
Yep.
So
I just
lucite,
broke 2 of mine.
you broke them?
I had bought an orange one from here.
Uh-huh.
Broke it.
How did you break it?
Knocked it off.
No,
the
what's
table.
broken on it?
Well, I could re-glue it. Like here, it came off at the
Uh-huh.
bottom.
Well, remember,
And
this
then-
is lucite, which means you can heat it and it reattaches.
Ah,
Just like plastic.
Crap.
Or you can,
Can I say that? Man. Because you know what? And I just broke a pineapple last night.
if the sides come off, you can just with a lighter reheat it and it will stick.
Are you kidding me?
No,
I
but
threw
gluing
it
it,
out.
why? You can glue it too.
I just got I was mad.
More trash for the ocean.
I was so mad. I was
Anywho,
just like,
don't throw those out. Bring them in. I'll fix them for you. So this is lucite. So
Mm.
first thing you want to do is you want to wipe it down with water or whatever to get the main dust out of it. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. I'm
and
sorry.
then
I'm
once you
distracted.
do that,
So much.
take your Gooby Gone, put it on a rag, wipe it down with Gooby Gone, because even though it's got stuff, isn't that cool though?
Yeah, it's really cute.
I like it.
I liked it because it has like the different textures and it's like a good idea.
It's still, all the textures are different lucite's. And this is where we run into or not different lucite's. They're lucite covered, I should say. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So once you do that, once you wipe it all off, and maybe you need a paintbrush to get down inside, stuff like that, then you just do it like you do with regular clear lucite. You just wipe it down, and then maybe a little Windex to give it a shine, and any type of scratches, which will be hard to see in here anyways with all of this stuff. But
I don't know why.
look
I
at
didn't
this.
think
They're
of
talking
that.
about after hours.
I know, and you're welcome, and all this
No,
crazy
no.
silly
What
stuff.
are they doing after hours?
That's a joke between them two. Janice and Darren
They're
after
sitting on that couch.
They're
So-
sitting. You're sitting on the couch.
So the one thing I do want to make sure that you guys know is that like I said before, our cleaning ability is stronger than it was years ago. So if you get something that is from the 50s or 60s and it says dishwasher safe on it,
Don't do it.
It is not today's dishwasher safe.
It's like putting it in.
Today's dishwasher can take our skin off our bodies.
Blech.
1960s dishwasher was a light shower. So by putting something like one of the dishes, the mid-century dishes in the dishwasher over and over again, it's going to eat away the vitrification on it, the glass coating, which then, guess what happens? You pull nothing but a big wad of pottery out.
So, Darren, we've been putting our Pyrex in the dishwasher. Just
Pyrex can go in the dishwasher.
That's the crazy baby.
The only thing that Pyrex can handle a dishwasher.
Yeah, but
The design on the Pyrex cannot.
right, and you can tell our design is like. And I've been putting it in the Don Hole glasses. I know the Don Hole glasses have been going.
Is the design still on them?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. See, what happens is when even glasses that can handle a dishwasher today, the design on them cannot. They were.
Put it this way, they're not my favorites. I mean, I love them, but like I'm not. It happens.
So
Sometimes you're stupid.
something like this, or
Janice is like, none of your beeswax.
something like this, which is chalkware.
Oh yeah, very fragile.
You got to be careful how you clean for two reasons. One, and cold paint. This is probably cold painted too. Cold painting means it's just painted. There's nothing over it to protect it. So if you wash it really hard, guess what's going to happen?
Come on.
I mean, you sometimes with cold paint
There's a clear over it, but it's
Right.
not like it's just
over the front of it. Look at the back.
Yeah, so it would the chalk is gonna absorb
Over time,
the
it's
water.
going to just absorb the water. Something like this that has etching in it, and you can see it's clear, so therefore it's covered, it's painted. Your red's going to be gone in the dishwasher when you pull it out the very first time.
Remember I told you about those what do you call it? The glasses. You had those Foster. What is it?
Thank you. Like I said, the Pyrex itself, the glass can handle the dishwasher, but
Right.
the look at what she wrote.
I know. She said you're gonna go to you better be careful. You might go to Facebook channel again. Janice. The slap around the world. Oh my god. Anyways, I know we still whatever, doesn't matter. I don't want to call
Vintage Pyrex, hand wash that. Anything that has a pattern on it that was made pre-1980, hand wash it, because I'm going to tell you the pattern cannot survive today's dishwashers.
Yeah, I know. They were done prior to me getting them. So
Pottery,
like
if you get pottery that's not shiny, and when I say shiny, I mean that it's
Hi, Lori. Thanks for tuning in.
it's shiny. You see the shine on that?
Yeah, that's so pretty.
Okay, that's vitrified. Vitrification means glass thrown in the kiln.
Okay.
Or sand thrown in the kiln.
And then
it creates a glass coating over it.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay.
I thought you had to like.
So, no, vitrification is a process through that, and I learned this at Bed Bath & Beyond when I was a trainer there.
Very cool.
So,
hey, Cody. Nice to see you.
Hey, Cody. So, our pottery today, now they have pottery that's not vitrified, But if you wash it too much or let it sit in water, it's going to absorb the water.
Okay.
So,
oh yeah, that's happened.
And
That's
how many
stuff that
times have you
I've
bought
had.
bases that say not for
And
water?
people use them, and
Right.
then they're wondering why they're getting like fractures.
Yeah,
and starting to
fractures
break
or
down.
because it has no glass coating to protect the clay from the water.
Exactly.
So
Thanks, Patricia and Isabel and Cody.
when
for
it's
watching.
shiny, it's vitrified.
How cool is that?
The vitrification process from the 1950s to the 2000s is completely different.
I just thought it was a clear glaze.
No,
that you
it's a
put
glass
over it.
company. Well, some of them might be clear glazes
Yeah,
on some,
some.
but it will say right on it, not meant for food or water
Oh,
or
that's
whatever.
okay.
Yeah, because you can paint a glaze, but it's
Right.
not going to secure it like a vitrification process would be.
Right. So if this, you can put water in and not worry about it.
Right, because it's all the way through. It's all the way through.
Super cool.
Yeah, and they make vases that are not all the way through.
I know, it's weird.
So everyday dishes, all dishes are vitrified. So
Makes
during
sense.
their kiln process, they throw the sand in there.
So that's weird. So like, is it like underneath, or do they just go? Do you know?
I personally haven't seen it done.
Okay. But
I've
it's in
just
there.
been told and taught why we
that's
can
why,
do it.
That's why. Okay.
So it's at some point during the kiln
So
system they do that, and it's to protect and allow you to eat and drink off of them. That's why dishes
Awesome.
have a shiny
Vitrified.
thing. It's vitrified. It's the vitrification process.
Listen to that. Big words. Words.
So if you have dishes that are not shiny, never put those in the dishwasher. Ever. Hand
If they're
wash
not
those
shiny?
and dry them.
Like,
Yeah, if they're not shiny, that means they're just plain.
what if they have like
pottery.
a matte finish? Well,
I still wouldn't do it. I still wouldn't put them in the dishwasher.
okay.
You may get one or two out of them, and that's it.
Okay.
And
Makes
then
sense.
they're going to start to crack, and pieces break off.
You know what? Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, clay
Wow.
absorbs water.
I never.
And
see?
unless you cover it with something,
Oh, where
What?
can I get a matching jacket? Do you mean like this, Cody? We'll talk to you later about it.
and so we have some, but not like that.
Yeah. You can use dishwasher for just for a rinse cycle? Yeah.
Well, you could,
Right,
yes.
but you-
Unfortunately, a
not
lot of
like
people don't know how to
probably
do
heat,
that.
right. And probably you probably wouldn't want to do you wouldn't want to use all the heat and the crazy
Yeah, but the rinse
stuff.
cycle may not have a heat.
Yeah.
It would just be the rinse.
Gotcha.
So that's a good point. You could use it to rinse
Yeah,
off.
that's actually really smart.
But
As long as it's not fragile, whatever
until
it
you
is.
get used to not washing those, wash them and dry them in the sink. When you become used to washing them, then start rinsing them off in the dishwasher, because we are creatures of habit and we will automatically go in to start putting them in the dishwasher.
Exactly.
So
I just want to correct myself. I've only put a couple pieces of my Pyrex and my glasses in the dishwasher. They were already
she's getting yelled at, so
Yeah,
she's backtracking.
I'm backtracking because my
She'll
new
issue a formal apology
pieces that I've
tomorrow.
had, the things that I've acquired
Did you hear me?
recently, yeah, the pieces that I've acquired recently that are new, old, vintage pieces, I do not put in the dishwasher. They already had that wear and tear, so I just was like.
So before we get going, tell me how, when you wash your glasses.
Okay, so when you wash your glasses, how do you guys put them in your cupboard? We always remind everyone. Now, when I'm old school, I was taught you wash your glasses, they dry, you put them upside down so they don't collect dirt and dust in them. Totally wrong. You don't do that. No. You never want to compromise the integrity of the rim of the glass. Even if you were gentle, whatever, you always want them going up, because if you turn them upside down, even if they're a big, thick glass, gravity takes a toll. You just putting them in and out. You just do not want to do that. You want them facing up. You want the integrity of the glass to be safe.
I wish I had pop-ups that say absolutely. And the reason that happens is because of fracturing and over
Chips,
time,
yeah.
the chips will start to appear along the rims of your glasses. And what part is going in your mouth?
Right, the rim of the glass. So you don't
And
want to
what's
do
the heaviest
that.
part of a glass?
The bottom.
The base of the glass.
Even if they're
So-
really thin, fragile
Yeah.
crystal glasses. I
If
mean,
you buy a set of 4 glasses for $100 of Rosenthal glasses, the last thing you want to do is stick them on the thinnest part of the glass.
right. I'm gonna show you something what I did, but I didn't know this in my 20s.
So when you do that, that's the most important thing. And plastic stuff like that, I don't think that matters. But sticking them upright is how they are built to sit.
Yeah, and last. And
So all of the strength in that glass is in the base to hold the glass up. Exactly. When you flip it upside down, you are now putting the weight of the glass on the thinnest part of the piece.
So even if you're like just, even if it's just sitting there.
And I learned that when they sent me to New York to Lennox.
So that's really cool. So that's from learning from a professional that worked with Lennox.
When I worked with Bed Bath & Beyond. Go ahead.
So I got 3 beautiful wine glasses by Fostoria. How do you say it? Romania. And it has this beautiful, there's gold, and you can see it, which I did not know. I got this in the 90s for my wedding. They're beautiful wine glasses. Not this, but this is the design. So Jason tells me, oh my gosh, we got these in. These are very nice, and I did not realize
they're worth some good money.
They're worth really good money. And I'm like, oh, I have 3 or 4 beautiful wine glasses.
Which are worth really good money, the wine glasses
Which is really good money. And I never knew this. And I went into my cupboard because I hardly use them. I use them for a good occasion. And I went in and I was like, what the heck? All the gold is off. You want to know why? Because we probably threw them in the dishwasher. So these beautiful goblets, they're nice big ones, with the gold and all that, and they're just ruined. And I was so upset because I thought, oh, they're in great condition. And then I looked at them and I was upset.
You know what's funny is we always talk about how, and I know we're going over the 7, but I gotta say this. We always talk about how vintage antique stuff, you have to be careful about putting in a dishwasher. But if you go out and you buy something new and it's cheap, the dishwasher's going to destroy it.
Well, yeah.
Because it's made cheaply, so it's going to fall apart. Mm-hmm. So I would be careful what you put in the dishwasher. Because I'm going to tell you, you can put a lot of stuff in the dishwasher. Today's dishes, absolutely, stuff like that. But your pots, your pans, vintage or new, you shouldn't put your pots and pans in there at all. Even though it has a setting for pots and pans, I wouldn't do that.
Hey,
but
yeah,
Darren,
we got surgical steel pots and pans, and Darren put them in the dishwasher, and I was like, they were really super expensive.
Right, but glasses, especially if they're expensive, I wouldn't do that.
Oh yeah, and I had those glasses when I got them for my wedding. I didn't know. I was in my 20s.
Right.
I didn't know you just wash things, put it in a dishwasher, do this, do that. You think that they're made well.
Right.
I'm like, how's it supposed to come off? It's
right.
In there. It's I thought it was in the glass. Cody's like, I'll dye washing out of
What about teacups? I'll dye washing out of tea.
Margaret Thatcher said she never dye washing a teacup, but she did.
Yeah, I know.
Really? Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that. Hi, Hope. Thanks for tuning in. Did you see what? Because of me putting stuff in the dishwasher. And, yep, Cody, you're smart. Still wash by hand. Very, very good. Thanks, you guys.
So, I know it can be a pain in the butt to wash by hand, but let me tell you, they did it for centuries before the dishwasher.
If you pay the money for these beautiful items,
you don't want to destroy them.
Yeah, they've lasted years and years and years and been passed down to one person to the next person. You go get them. Take the time to wash them. It makes all the difference in the world. Your beautiful items are going to stay beautiful for as long as you take care of them.
We could go on and on about cleaning tips and hints, and maybe we'll do another video of doing one, because we didn't get to jewelry or anything.
Yeah, we didn't get to jewelry.
We'll do a whole one on jewelry, on cleaning jewelry, vintage versus real, or the clothes, and I brought everything out for the clothes, so we'll have to do another one for those.
Show us all the products.
Yeah, you can see them back there. Oh no, my big old fat stomach's in the way.
No, but he brought all the products that we use, and he's done a beautiful job with clothes. We had a christening and communion dress, very old.
We learn a lot from our customers too.
Yeah.
The Dawn with the hair on dolls.
Yep.
So you'll have to follow us again because these I enjoy doing training videos like this and talking about things, but it's all literally a outside of what I learned from my experiences in the past. It's all trial and error. You know,
I love learning.
Yes, me too. Thank you guys so much.
Woohoo!
Time flies. I swear to God.
Yeah, you're welcome for teaching us or teaching you that. Cody,
yes.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate you.
Very much so.
We had a lot of fun.
This will be on YouTube tomorrow. It will be, and we are working with a new platform soon that will hopefully take us live along all platforms.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Live.
And with pop-ups and stuff like that. So when we have special guests like Unruly Yuli and his T-Rex Roar comics, we can have his thread pop up.
Right. Or maybe
so
Janice
that way you can like it while we're watching it.
Or maybe Janice with her Kitschmas.
Yes, because I'm hoping to get with Janice and talk to her about maybe doing a show about her kid. What is it? It's hard to say.
It's Kitschmas instead of Christmas.
As we get closer to the holidays, because it's a fantabulous site.
Or she does linens too.
Yes, if you jump onto Facebook and go under a very Merry
Kitschmas, is that right, Janice?
Take a look at her Facebook page for that because there's some fabulous Christmas stuff if you're a Christmas collector.
But yeah, so we're gonna be like trying.
There's a lot of new fabulous stuff coming up.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have new fabulous guests coming in and all kinds of fun
in a life
stuff.
of vintage. And as we get closer, we'll do one. And next time in Vegas, I'll do one from the Vegas location.
That'd be so fun.
And Steve and I will be in Southern California next month, and so we'll be doing live ones from there, and with some special guest stars there as well.
I know. Ooh.
So a lot of exciting stuff coming up. Thank you again for following us, and we have so much fun.
Yeah, it's always.
I look forward to Tuesdays.
I do too.
I do too.
Yeah, and thank you. We look forward to talking to you guys.
TimeWarpVintage.com is our website, as well as YouTube is Time Warp Vintage. Go over there, subscribe. Also, TikTok, Time Warp Vintage, as well as Instagram, Time Warp Vintage.
Oh, people are, hi Kate, thanks for tuning in. Oh, people are just saying have
a beautiful night, Cody.
Yeah, and have a beautiful night. You're very welcome, Ty. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Have a great week.
Bye, you guys. Bye.